Hello and welcome to the Manchester United Transfer News Daily, the latest Manchester United transfer news with that real fan opinion. I tell you what, it's good to be back. Europa League champions, back in the Champions League, where we belong to be. And I tell you what, I'm just going to smile. I'm going to smile at you for a little bit because there is a smile in my face because I knew this particular transfer daily was going to go one way or the other when we started doing the transfer dailies, even a couple of weeks ago, because we were at a junction. Are we in the Champions League after the Europa League final, or are we back in the Europa League? And I know some people didn't think it would make any difference, but it would have done. It would have made a massive difference, because signing Pogba and Zlatan last year on the promise that it was only 1 year out of the Champions League was great, but relatively simple. To try and get top players and say it's only 1 year, and then they say, well, you said that last summer, is very, very difficult. But we don't need to worry about that. We're Europa League champions, we're back in the Champions League, and anything is possible. I put Ronaldo and Messi below for a little bit of a joke, because I know we get fans of other clubs who don't like Manchester United on here, and it will just wind them up a little bit. And they've given it us enough this season, enough. Apparently fourth and third and second is better than winning the Europa League, but jog on. We've got a trophy, we're back in the Champions League, the world was watching us last night, and I would say there is probably only 3 or 4 players in world football who would turn Manchester United down. Probably Messi, probably Suarez, because he doesn't like Manchester United and we don't want him anyway, possibly Neymar, and then maybe one of Ronaldo or Bale. I think anybody else is possible, and I think anybody who's a United fan who doesn't believe that we can sign anybody we want is in for a rude shock this summer, because Griezmann's done. Welcome to Manchester, Antoine Griezmann. He was 6 out of 10 the other day. He'll be 10 out of 10 now. Interestingly, he'd said before the Europa League final that moving to Manchester United wasn't dependent on us being in the Champions League. Well, whether that was true or false, it doesn't matter now, because we are in the Champions League. That deal will be done very, very quickly. He said on Monday within 2 weeks, didn't he? And I guarantee it will be done within 2 weeks. What a signing he will be. We've got a Super Cup final to play at the start of August. Real Madrid or Juventus, don't care. That's going to be very exciting. Mourinho will want to win that. It's not a silly little community shield. We're not in that this year anyway. He'll want to win that Super Cup, and he'll have a decent team ready to play in that. Griezmann will be the start. Who else will there be? Oh, come on. Just get excited. Get excited. I mean, it's the day after the night before. I'm just so elated by what that set of players did. I don't want to talk about players going out the door yet, because they don't deserve that. Because even Rooney with his cameo, and Martial and Lingard, they deserve credit, because we win as a team, we win as a squad. And I don't want to, we've got to enjoy this victory for a little bit before we start talking about people going out the door. Luke Shaw apparently has said that he expects to leave this summer, because if United win, they're back in the Champions League, they can attract the top players, and Mourinho will look to get rid of him. I don't know whether there's any truth in that, but if you like money, £21 million a season we would have lost if we'd have been in the Europa League. Adidas, part of their deal, so we've gained some money from that. But Manchester United don't need to worry about money anyway. It's nice to have extra money, but what we've gained is Champions League football, and I just think fantastic from Mourinho for doing it. It's been a very challenging season for him, and he said last night in his post-match interview that he gave his list of the players he wants to Ed Woodward 2 months ago. So 2 months ago was March. Think back to March, international break. Where were we? Who wasn't doing so well? What were the difficulties in the team? The difficulties in the team are still the same. Centre-back, centre-defensive midfielder, a number 9 to replace Zlatan, and then potentially a bit of width. We know Griezmann's going to come. Does he want a left-back as well? The players I'm looking at, Aubameyang up front, I would go for him. If not him, Icardi. If not him, Belotti. Griezmann's obviously coming in. I think we'll get somebody else. Bernardo Silva is meant to be very, very close. What a player he is. Champions League proven. A fantastic player from Monaco. Centre defensive midfielder is going to be very interesting, because we do need one. When you look at the team that played in the Europa League final, you've got an ageing Carrick. You've got Rooney who's going to go. You've got Fellaini, Herrera and Pogba as his midfield 3. It needs at least one centre defensive midfielder to come in. Centre back. The thing is, instead of thinking, if you're back in the Europa League, you're thinking, oh God, do we get James Rodriguez? Do we go and sign Michael Keane? Do we go and sign some unknown who might be a really good player. But when you're Manchester United and you're back in the Champions League and you've won the Europa League and the world's seen you do that, and you're back on the big stage, and everyone wants us back in the Champions League, the UEFA wants us back in it because we're a massive club. It's suddenly like we're a club on the up. We know that the season's not been as good as it could have been. The Premier League's been an embarrassment. But despite all that and despite all the challenges, we're in the Champions League. We've won the trophy we've never won. And we can do anything in the transfer market. Last summer, we showed that. We got Zlatan, one of the best strikers in the world. We get Pogba, one of the best midfielders in the world. We get Mkhitaryan, one of the best creators in the world. And we get Eric Bailly, obviously, potentially one of the best centre-backs in the world. So what are we going to do this summer with Champions League football? The mind boggles and all bets are off. And I think, as we said, if we'd not won the Europa League, you'd be like, well, maybe we can do a couple of big deals. But I think we might be slightly hindered by that. No, anything is possible. Anything's possible with Manchester United. I should tag that as myself as well. We should copyright it with James Rodriguez as wand of a left foot and tenacious midfielders. But anything is possible this summer. I mean, I don't want to mention it, but Messi's out of contract next year. He's not signed the new one yet. Neymar is constantly linked to us, and Ed Wood would love to sign him. Gareth Bale is indicating he may be interested in Manchester United. So Griezmann's definitely coming. Would you be surprised if with Griezmann we got a Neymar or a Bale? And if we get one of those, I mean, what Manchester United need to be looking at, I said it on the watch along last night, is every player who played last night was a hero. But that team last night can't win the Premier League and it can't win the Champions League. Not really. Not over 38 games a season. We're a long way off in the Premier League, and the Champions League is a step up. We can win the Europa League. Next season we need to be challenging for the Premier League and the Champions League, and I think Mourinho needs to add to that current squad 3, 4, 5, 6 players, of which 2 or 3 of them need to be world class and the rest need to be top class. So I don't even know. A number 9 is going to come in of top quality, because Mourinho always has a number 9 of top quality because he needs him to score goals. And I think in the Europa League final we saw with Rashford, he will be great, but he's not quite there yet. He's still got a lot of learning to do, and it would be unfair of him to just be that focal point playing 40, 50 games a season. He's not quite there yet, but he's got a great future. We need somebody up there to help him. Griezmann comes. I've said that 3 or 4 times. Width. We definitely need some width and creativity and pace on the wides. On the flanks. We're going to get a midfielder, at least one. We're going to get a centre-back. We may well get... I mean, I just fancy that we'll get Monaco's Mendy at left-back. I really do. And I wouldn't be surprised if we get Fabinho as well. I think they'd be... I know Man City want him, but I'd quite fancy that. But the top echelon of players, the very, very top, if they're angling for a move, whether it's Ronaldo, whether it's Messi, whether it's Neymar, if they're unhappy at their club and they're looking for a move, Manchester United are going to be right at the front of the queue, and that's what we've got coming up this summer, and I'm very, very excited about it. And people can say you're a buying club, this, that and the other. They can put it in their pipe and smoke it, because we're a club in the Champions League that's very, very wealthy, and we can buy whatever we want to buy. But we are massively about our youth. But I'll stand by it. I've said it all season. To get out of this season with what we've got, Champions League football, a trophy we've never won in the Europa League, League Cup, I shake hands with it, because at times this season's been a bloody nightmare, and we all know that. You know, the chances that we've missed, some of the football we've played at times has been good, but some of the times it's been bad. The injuries, people not performing. To walk out of that with the Champions League, I shake the hand and I say, bring it on, bring the summer on, because anything can happen. And I wouldn't even like to predict it, but nothing's off the table. I don't think any player is off the table for Manchester United, and I can't wait to see what Mourinho's list is. I hope it's 1 or 2 or maybe 3 big names that are going to help us, and I hope it's about 3 players that we've not really heard of before that are well scouted, like Eric Bailly. Apparently Ross Barkley's back on the agenda. I have shouted that out, and I think, you know what, people can go, I don't want Ross Barkley. He's 23 years of age. It feels like he's been around for ages. He's Premier League proven, and I think he's playing at about 60% of what he can do, and I think Mourinho could take him up 1 or 2 levels. So, like I say, anything's possible, and I'm very, very, very excited about it. Very excited about it. So get commenting below. I mean, to be honest, I'll open it up. Griezmann is done. Griezmann is coming to Manchester United. He is going to wear the number 7. Nothing's going to stop that now. Nothing will stop it. No one can compete. Look, no one can compete with us with wages. No one can compete with us in relation to the fact that we'll pay 90 million, and no one can compete with the fact that Griezmann says he's 6 out of 10 on Monday, and now we've got Champions League football. It's going to happen, and it's going to be a great signing when it happens, and then we move on to the other ones that we need. We've got Pereira coming back, we've got Fosu Mensah and Twansibi coming through, we've got Rashford getting better and better all the time. It's an exciting time for Manchester United, and we've got a manager who knows how to shut teams out. Now what he needs to do is build an attacking side to complement the defensive side of things that Mourinho is fantastic about, and I 100% back him and 100% think he will. So get commenting below, give us your thoughts on who you think is going to come this summer, and I'm going to look forward to reading your comments, because I genuinely don't think anybody is off limits apart from Ronaldo, Messi and Suarez, because we'd never want him and he wouldn't come to United anyway. I think anybody else is pretty much game on for United, because we can do what we want. We can do what we want. Thanks for watching. Get commenting. Please do drop a like on the video. And remember, tonight we are back at 8:30. It's your show. Your reaction to last night, your thoughts about the summer. It's your show tonight. Skype Goldbridge, 8:30 on the United stand. We go live with no script. Get Skyping in and let's hear what you've got to say. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. I imagine a lot of you are going to feel quite tired with a little bit of a headache, but it's all worth it. It's all worth it. Thanks for watching.